Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to the GSL Code A round of 32. Gunrun here, alongside me is Torch. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
Yep, and we have some great games coming right up. So we're about to head into our third set here. It will be Terran versus Zerg. We have Startail Hope Torture, and he'll be playing against Leenock for you.
Yeah, and we've had some two very nice matches so far today. We will be moving into two Terran versus Zergs for the remainder part of the morning of Code A. For anyone that hasn't checked out the schedule, you can find out the full details of the schedule at m.gomtv.net if you're on a mobile, or gomtv.net if you're on a computer. There you can find the full schedule, but just a breakdown. For the first week of GSL, there is two sessions. There's a morning session, which you're watching right now, and then there's an evening session at 6:10 p.m. Korean Standard Time, like normal, and that's where the Code A will be in the morning, and then there will be Code S and GSTL, depending on if it's Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, Friday. So our next match is going to actually be Startail Hope Torture. He was a previous Code S player known as Startail Rainbow.
Yeah, and he went pretty far too, especially in Season 1. Actually, runner-up.
In Season 1, he did extremely well. He was the second-place player. He lost to Fruit Dealer in a very epic series. If you haven't checked out those games, definitely go check out the VODs. All the VODs from GSL are still around if you want to go back and watch anything from the previous seasons.
Just hit up GOMTV.net, guys. Go and register and check those out, definitely. There was so much money on the line for Season 1. And, still plenty as well for future events as well. Yep, so we'll be showing our players in a bit here.
So he will actually be playing against a fan favorite, Leenock. But here is Hope Torture. He is Startail Rainbow. He was a Starcraft 1 or Starcraft Brood War pro gamer. He's a veteran player with very strong builds. He's actually one of the first players that used the factory from the Terran. He floated over to his opponent's base, landed in their base, and produced Hellions. Very interesting build at the time. I know I used that a lot in the beta to do a lot of it. Hidden damage. You can also use the tech from that to get out fast Banshees. So you really have like a multi-prong attack. However, it's saying he's weak in the late game. One of the issues for this is because he is actually going to the military soon. Every person in Korea needs to go to the Korean military for 2 years, and a lot of pro gamers can push that off. The government actually allows them to push off their military career because they are pro gamers and they really respect pro gaming in Korea.
And here we have Leenock Yu, Zerg player. He's age 16. His win ratio right now versus Terran is about 48.39. And he's actually already played against Startail Hope Torture in the past too, during Code S round of 32 groups in season.
So he is a fan favorite. He does look a lot like Gumio, a lot of people say. He does not like that, Gumio does. But usually they both wear glasses. Right now Leenock is not, so it's going to be interesting to see if that affects his play in any way.
And also win ratio for Hope Torture is 46.67 too. So here's some funny numbers for me to say. And here we go again. Yep. So it looks like everyone's getting ready. The countdown's beginning right now, and they want it to begin. Just see him spamming numbers all the time. You guys can't see that. It's awesome though. Yeah,
both of these players do have a lot of experience in GSL and GSTL, so the setting will be quite easy. As we were talking about in some of the other games, nerves were a little bit of an issue for at least the last game that we saw, maybe a little bit more mistakes than you normally have. But both of these players are going to be prepared for this and are probably not going to be making those little mistakes that you normally see from a newbie player.
Yeah, both guys have a lot of experience being in those booths, having all that pressure on them as well, being on camera, being on television. Very fun stuff for both guys and all parties involved. Also, our first map will be on Terminus, it looks like, and it'll be coming up in a bit. I love saying that.
It's always going to be coming up in a bit.
It's like a default kind of thing, man. From just I'm so used to casting with my desk. I got my 4 monitors set up. You only have 2 here, right?
Oh, and I'm sorry we can't all be spoiled from.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, and you have the live chat going on, having all that stuff going. But it's so cool though here being in Korea, having this experience and having cameras on the players. You don't ever get to see this, you know.
Well, you don't quite yet, but the foreign world is very quickly catching up to the Korean world of esports. Esports in Korea has been around for a very long time. So as we were talking about the maps before, this is going to be Terminus.re for the first map. Then we're going to Crossfire SE. And then finally, if we do need a third map, it will be Zelnaga Caverns.
Both players are just getting ready right now. And there we go.
soweit ich weiß,
he's
wenn wir
blooded
zwei
in
uns
the map,
fremd. Ich
in
bin
the
leider
lobby
nicht
chat
der
right now.
Meinung, dass wir zwei uns kennen. Geh mir aus.
It is going to be interesting seeing this map. The third is a little bit easy to defend for both players. It does have a destructible rock, so as the game progresses, you can move in and change the dynamic of how you need to defend in a game like this. It is also interesting for the Terran to be able to take their fourth. If you can get a planetary fortress up, you can really get that economic lead that the Zerg might not be able to get because it's harder for them to defend those bases.
Yep, also it's going to be Terran versus Zerg, so nice to see this matchup be deviating from the previous ones we've seen today. Yep, that's all I get. No.
I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't mind just seeing Terran versus Terran constantly. I know a lot of people will flame me for that.
Yeah,
but,
if you were watching the FXO event last night, boy, there's a lot of Terran stuff. Oh, boy. Well, yep, here we go, guys. I think. The voices in my head, man.
You'll get it soon. Yeah, the voices in your head aren't always correct.
And here we go. And here we go, guys, in Terminus. Spawning here at the 9 o'clock position, we have our Cyan Terran. Went by the name Rainbow, but now goes by Startail. Oh, something, Startail in it, right?
Yeah, he is actually...
Startail, hop.
What the...
Okay.
I have no idea what that was supposed to be.
Hope? Does that imply torture?
Well, hope torture in Korean, the phrase implies that you're torturing someone with hope. You're giving them the idea that there's hope, but in reality there actually isn't any. Yeah. So
okay, so he tortures his opponent with the possibility of victory. Okay.
Leenock, for you.
Yep, and there's Leenock. Oh, well, that's not Leenock, that's Casado, but Leenock, there we go.
Yeah.
Yep, 16-year-old. Zerg spawning down here at the 6 o'clock location. Very nice. Leenock for you.
FOU, one of the older teams, it did actually have some roots in Starcraft 1. It was one of those clans that got brought over to Starcraft 2 during the beta, or during the earlier stages of the game at least. They haven't had the best results lately, but some of their players, like SC, have done quite well individually. And it'll be interesting to see if they do better in the team league. They did have a really nice match against IM on Friday in the GSTL. If you haven't checked those out, definitely go to GOMTV.net, check out all the VODs. We do have an expansion coming out here from Leenock, so he is going to try to get that early economic lead.
Yeah, it looks like a hatch before pool here. And let's see what our Terran player is up to. First Rack's already waypointed all the way up to the northern location.
And we do have a barracks coming out, but we do not have a refinery yet, so he is going to look to either do some sort of really, really early aggressive marine play, which he's a little bit known for, or he's going to try to go for an expansion. But Leenock is going to get in here and scout that there is no refinery going down. That's really going to cue him that he needs to get that early defense, or at least early aggression, to be able to defend against anything that could be coming at him.
Yep, getting gas as well as this, with the spawning pool after getting that hatchery up. Oh, bunker already coming up here by Hope Torture.
And the bunker's coming up, but there's not a whole lot of Marines on the way, is there? There's one Marine on the way. The second one is just coming from the base, so if Leenock can scout this, which he does right now, he will be able to get the drones out there to be able to defend this. However, it is almost finished. That first Marine does come, pushes the drone away, and oh, Hope Torture is actually throwing down a second bunker here. It does finish. He is going to be able to reinforce this. If the first bunker goes down, he is going to have that second one to be able to drop into. This is a very bad situation for Leenock to be in right early in this first game.
Yep, and he does allow the hatchery to complete. He is working on a queen right now. And he's going to save that drone by creating an extraction.
Very nice move there.
Yep. And he does have 2 SCVs here. Hope Torture is able to maintain the life of these bunkers. Second bunker will be completed very shortly.
And both of those bunkers are within range of the hatchery, so if one goes down, he's going to be able to just hop into the next one. The Zerglings are going to try to run by and take out any reinforcements to defend or to prevent any sort of large army from building up. If it's only 3 Marines, he should be able to defend relatively easily. But again, there's 2 bunkers there, so it is very, very hard for Leenock to take this out. He is building a queen out of that second hatchery, so he can use an extra transfuse, hopefully, if he can wait long, or if he can defend long enough. If not, queens are very, very strong on their own home turf. They're very slow off creep, though, so he can't be too aggressive with them. But we will see what he's going to be doing in a second here. It's really going to come down to when that hatchery gets low on health. He's going to need to make an aggressive play. It happens right now. These Zerglings are going out. They're going to try to take down this bunker. They're going to surround it so that when those Marines hop out, they don't go anywhere, but they do. Oh, wow.
Sliding out through the back door there. We're going right into the second bunker. All SCVs have been annihilated. And yeah, any second now we should see speed complete, but he should be able to take out these Marines.
He was able to salvage both of those bunkers too, so this wasn't too great of an investment for him. A lot of these Zerglings are very hurt, so they're not going to be able to do any sort of counterattack. The hatchery is also still still alive, so Leenock is actually in great position here. However, Hope Torture is building a command center back at home. It is almost finished. He throws down a factory to almost finish off that wall off and be able to defend against these Zerglings that are coming in to try to do any sort of counter-aggression.
There he goes, getting a bit of a surround there, but he does finish it off the wall off with a factory and a bunker preceding it as well. So really no chance of getting that counterattack, I said earlier. Back in Leenock's base, though, we do have that second hatch still alive. Still alive, about half health still up there. And now pushing out with the creep tumors as well, going double creeping all the way up.
And Leenock, seeing that there is that wall in going from Hope Torture, he knows that no aggression is going to be coming out quite yet. The factory is not done yet, unless that's a second factory. So he is actually pumping out a lot of drones. He was getting 8 at a time. He's up to 33 drones at the moment against 25 SCVs from Hope Torture.
Wow, there's already a bit of a differential there. Well, yep, Zerg does have that second base up. We're now seeing a tech lab being created on that factory.
We have a tech lab and a second factory going down, so most likely we're going to see Blue Flame Hellions here. If you get out enough, you can do a lot of aggression until the roaches come out from the Zerg player. However, the layers going up, with that layer, he's going to be able to expand into a lot of different tech patterns depending on what he sees from the Terran player.
Yep, they're going to take advantage of this passive time right now, creating 8 drones at once. Really, utilizing that drone ability, creating lots of drones right there.
And we actually have a third factory going down for Hope Torture. Leenock did not see the second and does not see the third. Third command center as well. He's really going to be heavy with these mules. While he's forced to stay on one base at the moment, he can get a lot of mules and still get a lot higher mining rate from a single base than a Zerg player could possibly get. However, it's not going to be quite enough because this second base from the Zerg player is very, very saturated, and the Spire is going up for Leenock.
Yeah, Pre-Igniter about halfway down right now, and we're getting a Baneling Nest too, and that Spire is on his way up, as you were saying earlier.
The scan goes down, so Hope Torture does know that the Spire will most likely be on the way. If not a Spire, then maybe Hydras. But these 3 factories are all producing Hellions. I had to count there as a second there, because that's going to be a lot of Hellions coming out, a lot of Blue Flame Hellions. We've got a few Marines coming with them. At the moment, they're just going to try to defend, make sure there's no hidden Zerglings trying to scout the second and third base of Hope Torture, and because he does have those 3 command centers down, he's going to be able to saturate his second very, very quickly, and then move that third command center to his third and saturate that very, very quickly as well. So even though the Zerg expanded much earlier, Hope Torture or Rainbow is actually going to be able to get an economic, or get closer to the economic ability of Leenock quite quickly.
Yeah, but you see a beautiful Maynard transfer and the Spire just popping up right now. Let's take a look at how that's working out. Roach Warren is what's coming up over there.
Yep, so he has the Roach Warren down, so he is able to defend against any sort of Hellion play once he does scout it. But we also do have 8 Mutalisks coming in, so that's really going to force Hope Torture to be very defensive. Very nice creep spread here by Leenock. He's able to send 4 creep tumors out at a time.
And a Zerg wall too.
Yes, that's actually a really nice wall there. 2 Queens, Baneling Nest, Spine Crawler, and 2 Evolution Chambers.
Looks like the mutas are out and about right now. Let's see how many we got here. About 8 mutas, all just gathered around here. No upgrades going on yet. Only upgrading the Zerg missile attacks and the Galil reconstruction. Well, there we go.
Perfect timing from these Mutalisks. They are going to see the third command center of Hope Torture going through.
Way too few Marines, not even attacking as well. And yeah, these guys are able to do a lot of damage.
There's a lot of really nicely placed turrets here, but there's still a lot of vulnerable buildings from Hope Torture, so Leenock is going to be able to do some significant damage here. If you can take down this factory and this tech lab, it prevents the upgrades coming from Hope Torture for these factory units.
Yeah, weird. Hope Torture moving over the Hellions actually through the northern corridor here into the natural. Let's see how it works for him. The wall is still up, really can't do too much damage. Looks like that factory's going to go down too.
And beautiful timing from Hope Torture. He is able to actually save that factory. The Hellions try to sneak in, but they can't. Those Queens are perfectly placed. The Roaches are out now as well. They are going to be able to reinforce these Mutalisks, so he might be able to do a very strong attack right now and do a lot of damage to Hope Torture.
Yeah, but here come the Hellions right into the Mutas as well. And oh man, he's going to take out so many of these guys. Yes.
2 go down, 2 are very close to going down. That's very unfortunate for Hope Torture. He does have 2 siege tanks out, but they do not have siege mode, so these Roaches are going to be able to come in and do a lot of damage. Hellions do very, very little damage to Roaches. Roaches just sneaking past.
Just walking right in through the front door here.
The other Roaches coming in to fight with the Mutalisks. Mutalisks taking a lot of damage from the missile turret, but the other Roaches are going to be able to go in because the main army is distracted. Roaches are going to be able to take down a lot of the tech labs from these factories, prevent the siege mode from coming out. If that goes down, it's going to be huge.
He's trying to repair it right now, but there's still a little surface area for those SCVs. Now we can just focus the Mutas a little bit. Oh my god, he's so close, and he does take it out. Very nice job there by Leenock.
with that siege mode down, it's going to be very, very hard for Hope Torture to defend against the reinforcements coming from Leenock. There's 15 roaches on the way. In addition to 15 roaches, he does have a hive coming out.
Oh, there's that one Thor, and he is pulling those SCVs back to keep it as live as long as possible there. Yeah. And yep, SCVs moving on out as well.
Those roaches are very good against Thors in the field, but with those SCVs being able to repair it, it can keep the Thor alive a lot longer than it really should. And those Thors do a lot of damage to Mutalisks. However, the Mutalisks are just going to fly over there and try to take out the SCVs, while the roaches are going to be able to come in and take out the Thor as soon as those SCVs are killed. However, these roaches are quite content just taking out SCVs at the natural right now.
Plethora of roaches from Leenock now coming in through the front door. Take a look at the army supply, 79 to 21 right now. Huge advantage right now for our Zerg player Leenock. And actually letting the mutas die to the Thors.
Yeah, all the mutas are down, but that is a huge number of roaches. They are going to be able to come in here and two-shot those Thors. Those Thors are down, and Hope Torture is forced to GG.
Very nice job there, Leenock. Knowing he did pretty good.
Yep, Leenock very content with that game. He defended that first two-bunker push by Hope Torture very nicely. It looked very scary for Leenock at the beginning because those two bunkers were right next to each other. So the Marines should have been able to hop out of one immediately into the other. But because all those Zerglings surrounded the bunker, when the Marines hopped out of the bunker, they actually were outside and had to run around and get to the second bunker while taking a lot of hits.
Rainbow really feeling that.
Yeah, he was formerly a Code S player. If he loses here in Code A, there'll be a very quick route for him going from Code S to Code B. Once he gets there, it's extremely hard to get back into the Code A.
Yeah, Code A is quite a journey. Going through all that after seeing your qualifiers.
Yes, that is very true. So, Hope Torture was trying to get a lot of factory units out, but the issue is that those factory units, except for siege tanks, are very bad against roaches. And Leenock came in with the perfect timing of Mutalisks to be able to... They didn't do that much damage at first, but what they did was they forced a lot of Thors coming out instead of siege tanks. And those Thors are very, very bad against roaches when the roaches are coming in such large numbers. You can repair them in small numbers, but those roaches were two-volleying the Thors. So even with a full amount of SCVs to repair, it still would have died very, very
he really
quickly.
had that idea going into it as well. Once he had those mutas in that base, he knew he could just push in with those roaches when he did. And the flow kept on coming. It was like an endless waterfall of just ground Zerg units. And just the way they were positioned too in Hope Torture's own base really just allowed for him to take advantage of that completely.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to be knocked out quite yet. He does have a lot of resolve in this matchup, and he is moving on to Crossfire. So he hopefully can do a lot more in this map than he did in the last map. We are seeing the game start right now.
Yep, and we'll be getting, the game is going to be starting quite shortly. Oh, man, so many voices, dude. How do you deal with this?
You learn to tune it out, and some medication helps a little bit.
I need to get some of that, yeah. But, yep, we'll be getting started shortly, guys, and here we go. It's so weird, because sometimes they talk in Korean and you just assume it's English, so like they're trying to...
Yeah, we should just talk in Korean too. Maybe the viewers will start to pick up on it.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can talk in Korean. You've been here for like 2 years, right? Game starting. Here we go, guys.